literally blown.
You can, by the way, you can literally not understand. But, I literally died when I saw it. Which now just means with great emphasis.
Indeed.
There's a lot of annoying shit has happened like that. It drives me crazy. But guys, we're going to do a little going back. As you said, well, maybe we'll all eventually see Into the Spider-Verse, and then we'll talk about it once all three members of the MDLT family have seen it. Well, many weeks ago, we reviewed the little New Zealand podcast, Boners of the Heart, and the fact that one of the two young ladies who host it, I believe it was Alice Snedden, had seen the Blake Lively film A Simple Favor. Rose Metafeo, her co-host, had not. And it led to, I think, everyone's favorite sequence, the extended What Would You Do sequence, where it's Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, a two-way mirror, a guest room where you're watching them have sex. Go back and listen to the episode if you don't know what I'm talking about. But I was very curious about the film. I watched a trailer. I thought it seemed really interesting and stylized and compelling. And I watched the film. But we couldn't discuss it because my co-host hadn't. Then Doug watched the film, and we couldn't discuss it because, as always, our rule is...
You got to have all three, baby.
And
I have watched...
Finally!
And save it for the podcast.
And save it for the podcast.
So we did save it for the podcast. Brandon's watched. So Brandon, Doug, let's talk briefly before we jump into this week's podcast about A Simple Favor, which ended up, I believe I told you on the next episode of Boners of the Heart, being very divisive.
Sure, yeah, I can imagine.
Right, and it may very well have been. It's suggested later that everything Rose was saying, she was saying just to piss off Alice Snedden. And Alice does say at one point, I don't think we can be friends anymore because of the things she's saying.
I hope we have the same reaction to our review of...
I hope it breaks this podcast apart. So I never have to do it again. And just for your dad's sake. Doug, what did you think of A Simple Favor?
I really enjoyed it. Thought it was fun. Thought it was for me very. It was well written, and obviously, as we've already discussed, I like Blake Lively. I think I feel like I've seen almost all of her movies. I don't think I've seen all of them.
Okay,
but I think I've seen maybe almost all of them. Although I never watched that TV show that she was on,
Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girls. But I am also a huge fan of
Anna Kendrick.
Got it.
So, and I think I've seen most of the things that she has done, and I really like her in this movie, and I like her in the kind of indie, gritty films. There was a great movie with her and Sam Rockwell called, I think it was called like Mr. Happy, but that's probably wrong. I should have looked it up. I didn't know we were going to discuss this tonight.
No, but Doug, that's the improvisational... off the cuff nature of the show.
It is. But I highly recommend that movie, so you'll just have to look it up based on Sam Rockwell.
Anything with
and
Sam
Anna
Rockwell, Anna Kendrick's got to be good.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
It was
awesome. So, but as far going back to
but you really liked A Simple Favor, right?
I really liked A Simple Favor. I'm trying to think if I guessed the end, because I usually do.
Okay.
Because I watch so much.
Right.
TV,
and this is,
film.
in many ways, it's kind of a noir whodunit. It keeps you guessing. It's got twists and turns. It is, for those of you who haven't seen it, is a Paul Feig film. So, this is the same guy who wrote Bridesmaids.
Right, and he directed as well, I want to say.
Yeah, I think he directed as well.
And he directed The Office. He did a bunch of TV shows,
absolutely.
comedy.
It's been long enough we don't have to worry about spoilers, right?
Yeah, I don't think we have to. And I'll put it this way. If you haven't seen the film and you'd like to, and Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively and Paul Feig all sounds interesting to you, and you don't want to know what happens, because that is a big part of this film, it being a noir.
Correct.
Stop listening right now, and you
Jump
can
ahead.
check back in about 4 minutes.
Bye, Brandon's dad.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Come back in at 22 minutes. We'll be done talking about it.
All right. Well, then now that we've given the disclaimer,
not unrealistic.
I do want to say, so I wasn't...
come back in in 28 minutes and we'll be done talking about it.
Because Doug's talking now. It's I wasn't surprised at all that she was alive. The other aspect of it, if we're giving that part away, that surprised me and pleasantly.
Okay, cool.
Which part are you talking about?
The twin.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a twin. You know what I mean? In any whodunit, you got to have a twin.
You got to have it.
What did you think of it, Brenda?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Okay.
I did not.
Did you really aggressively dislike it, or it just wasn't for you?
No, I didn't find it all that entertaining. I didn't actually think that their performances were all that great. None of the pieces really fit together.
Okay.
I didn't like any of the side characters.
Right.
All the gossip head other moms, and then that gay dad.
The classroom parents will say,
all that stuff felt like it's a movie that felt stylized in the wrong way.
Okay.
Wherein, if this film had been a hard-boiled, really exasperated or no exacting look, that's the word I'm looking for, into this crime,
right?
Because it was sort of a light comedy,
but then it would have been pure noir and not a noir comedy, which he was trying to do this new thing.
I just feel like it didn't work.
Okay,
it did, the elements, the pieces didn't work together, and I saw the twist coming so far ahead,
right?
That it really took the wind out of the sails. This big reveal, the big oh my god, I can't believe this is what happened. I already knew it was going to happen, and then I was like, okay, well, this is dumb.
Okay. That's fair, and that's the danger of every film that has as a big point
getting
a
ahead
reveal.
of it.
Exactly.
Makes it
so quickly before John gives us his review. You obviously watched it with Maria, your wife.
No. I just watched it by myself.
Oh, by yourself. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean
right,
Doug? You mean his ex-fiance?
His ex-fiance,
yes,
Maria.
former fiance.
Yes, former fiance.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Sorry,
I watched
that your engagement didn't work out.
I also watched it by myself because my wife had no desire to see this film.
Yeah, this was something wherein I just was like, I this was an assignment for me. I would never have watched this other than I know that you guys
don't
wanted
like
to.
Paul Feig?
I actually don't think that he's particularly... Bridesmaids is good.
Yeah.
I think everything else that he's made, I'm less inclined to enjoy.
Right.
Ghostbusters, I thought wasn't funny.
It was awful, yeah.
I didn't like the Heat, I think, was the other.
Yeah, the
movie
Heat's
that he
quite
made.
weak as well. Even
Wasn't
though
a
it
huge
was
fan.
very well liked, it's not a particularly good film.
And the only other thing that I've seen Blake Lively in that I liked was The Town, the Ben Affleck film, where she played like a skeezed out, drugged up barfly.
Right.
And so seeing her
twin.
play this kind of...
The twin, yeah, good point.
Yeah, this other... I don't know. It just didn't work for me.
Okay.
I didn't believe any of the things that were happening.
Interesting.
It was like, let's make Gone Girl, but not good.
Right. And you thought Gone Girl was good.
I thought the David Fincher film was good.
Okay.
Because it had a twist that I really enjoyed,
right?
That I didn't get ahead of,
yeah.
And it
which
put
basically
it in the middle
says
of the film.
All women are evil. But when a woman when a woman disappears, instead of it being the real world rule that we all know, which is every fucking time her husband killed her, as we just learned last week,
like 90%. Yeah.
It's actually that she's fucking over an otherwise pretty nice guy, which we all know Ben Affleck to be in the real world as well. I also really, really liked it. I loved it. To me, the standout performance was Anna Kendrick. She is dutifully packed everything in that movie, put it on her back, and is carrying it around. I thought she was fantastic, really sexy and cute and funny. Kills the comedy, kills the physical comedy when she is stuck in the dress upstairs.
Oh yeah,
it's great, man.
That scene, I didn't like it.
No, we know that
really silly and didn't even make sense.
Come on, there was a cop at the door.
She is literally 8 inches shorter than Blake Lively.
That's why the dress is so incredibly long.
No, it should be gigantic on her.
Maybe not. She also has an incredibly good figure that I didn't realize until that scene. I really knew very little about both these people until I saw this film. This is not a joke. I thought Blake Lively was a country star. So I didn't know anything about... I'm not.
You think of Blake Shelton?
I probably am, who I'm fairly certain is a male.
Yes, he is.
Yep. So I didn't know. I had no idea she was married until the Boners of the Heart episode.
Yes.
Didn't know she was married to
Ryan
Reynolds. You got it. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was genuinely funny. It was genuinely creepy at parts, as a noir should be. Mm-hmm. I did not enjoy it because it was a shocking and revelatory twist to me.
Right.
It was not. I also saw it coming, but enjoyed the ride anyway.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, am I the only one that stayed for the after credits
you may have
Bollywood dance scene?
I'm trying to remember. I don't
Oh
think
my
I
God.
saw
can't
that.
imagine that I would
think
have spent
saw
a
it.
second more on this film than I had to.
Right.
All right.
No,
well, then
I
you
don't.
missed out.
I don't
buddy.
think
You
I hung
missed
around
out.
for it, Doug. Good on you for that.
Yeah.
I've seen Bollywood
Well,
before.
I always like to look at the special features. See,
Right.
I like to see what scenes they delete because I always find that interesting as from the editing side or the storytelling side.
Sure.
And then that so when you run them all, then you get everything. And then there was a post credit dance scene type thing.
Yeah,
at the
special features
school.
I would have missed out on because, full disclosure, I did not pay for this film.
Right. Oh,
I found
so
internet
a little
ways.
Pirates Bay action.
Listen, all I'm saying is army matey.
Hey, Brent, let me just ask you a question. Would you steal a car? Would you feel comfortable with that?
I would download a car.
Yeah, me too. Well,
Onto
folks,
a 3D printer.
Hell yeah. It's not taking it from somebody.
That is our longest ever version of checking in. But guys, I should let you know, I did tell listeners to check back 28 minutes in. It's only been 24 minutes in. So
we have to pause for 4 minutes.
Yeah, if you guys could just please be silent for the next 4 minutes.
If you want to just grab a guitar and just
I have stuff to do around the house.
You want me to reenact the Bollywood dance scene?
Doug, that's okay. Those people are just screwed. You know what? If they didn't go see a movie that's been out for like half a year at this point, that's their own goddamn fault. But I will tell you this. We have joined here this week for a very specific reason.
Indeed.
And that is to talk about Here's the Thing, the interview show with Alec Baldwin. It has been around since about 2013, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when it got its start. We listened to a couple episodes. We listened to a very recent episode from January 22nd of this year called The Delightful Deviant Behind the Human Centipede. And we went back a little bit to January of 2017 for the episode Questlove Can't Take a Compliment. Now, Doug, I'm assuming you listened to both episodes.
Absolutely.
And then I'm also assuming you were very familiar with Alec Baldwin, his various other projects, his acting, TV, film.
Absolutely.
Before this. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you something because when I think of your heyday in being a bartender in films, a guy who walks through scene of films, a waiter in films, a guy who gets blown up in a film, I think of like early 90s. There was a period where I felt almost every movie that I went to go see, it was, I want to see this movie, and Doug is in it. Like you're going to see he's a soldier at the beginning, or again, he's a bartender in a bar scene. Have you ever worked with Alec Baldwin?
I have.
Okay.
Yes,
Can you tell us a little bit about it? And I honestly did not know you had. I just had a gut feeling you had. I wasn't like setting you up for a famous story or anything.
Yeah, and actually I was going to bring it up anyways because I thought, so he was a guest star on Friends when I was working on Friends.
Shit.
Sure.
Wait, remind me who
was he? He was dating Phoebe.
Okay.
He was kind of he was Alec Baldwin as far as I can tell. He was kind of a little eccentric. Supposed to be like a kind of a wealthy eccentric guy. I forget what his actual character did.
Wait, so that's Alec Baldwin you're saying?
Yes.
He is a wealthy eccentric, I agree.
Right. But I'm saying he also played that kind of character on Friends.
Right.
Got it.
So
was this multiple episodes? I mean, did they keep him on was there an arc here or just one episode?
I feel like it was a one-off.
Okay.
I could be wrong. If it wasn't, it was probably only 2. But, it was a long time ago, so I don't recall. But what I do recall reminded me a lot of this podcast. Listening to him talk, the way he interacts with people was very much not only the character, which I'm assuming on Friends they gave him, not a lot of dialogue and let him go, type of thing. But there was dialogue, and there were parts that really like. God, all right, this is the scene that I remember.
Please,
most. It was, I believe, like a wedding or a get together. So all of the friends are there with their dates, and there was a thing with Alec Baldwin's character was kind of quirky, and he's I really need to take, I got to take a picture of this. I'm going to take a mental picture, and he makes like them all gather up, and he does an imaginary camera and goes, click.
Sure.
And this was his, and he's like, got it. That's a great one. That type of thing. And I just think, but then when he wasn't in character, he was also still kind of that guy.
Oh, sure.
So it was just interesting. And I felt his interactions, especially more so, I would say, on the Delightful Deviant.
Right.
That one in particular.
I think he was kind of a gushing fan on that one. Don't you
guys
agree?
Yeah.
Either he was having a manic episode,
right,
or he just really loved that guy.
I think
in
he
his
was
films
excited as hell this guy was there.
My God, he was like busting at the seams.
Right.
It was a hard episode to listen. I want to bury the lead a little bit.
I had a little fun on
ahead,
that. I found it fun because he was kind of giddy and fanboy-esque. And it's Alec Baldwin.
Right.
He's someone I'd be excited to meet. I mean, he'd probably immediately try to fight me because it's Alec Baldwin.
He would punch you in the face.
He's one of those
and
guys
then
I both...
spray whipped cream on your
Absolutely.
mouth.
I love Alec Baldwin because he's such a wildly talented, funny guy.
Right. He call you a pig.
He's also just such a fucking difficult human being at the same time.
You little pig.
Well, that might be.
Do you remember that fun little
the voice message
for his
absolutely
daughter?
Do. But to be fair, kids can fucking suck.
Yeah, they're
sometimes.
terrible, I bet.
Yeah,
so.
Kids can just annoy the shit out of you as well.
Not my child.
And that's true. Not
humans.
with Chloe, but you do get a lot of parents who are like, I love my kids, but they're such little shit sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get that with
Yes, because they're
parents.
people too.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Chloe was not that kind of. She wasn't a tantrum throwing or
No, never.
Yeah, none of that stuff. But as I'm sure you've observed, some other kids are, and they can be real
Yes.
shits.
Yep.